In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, where representatives from hundreds of star systems gathered under a vaulted ceiling, shimmering with projected constellations, the atmosphere was thick with tension. The chamber's mosaic floor glinted in the lights, casting strange reflections on the walls as the council debated a new and contentious subject, humanity. At the high podium stood the sixth representative, a tall, thin being with translucent skin that rippled with shifting hues. The sixth raised a slender hand, calling the room to order as murmurs of conversation stilled. The council's attention shifted as the sixth began to speak, their voice carrying a gravity that was rarely heard within the council chambers. "We convene today," the CX intoned, "to discuss a matter of urgent importance, one that may redefine our interactions and boundaries across the galaxy." A soft echo accompanied the statement, amplified by the translator devices embedded in the chamber. The emergence of a new species, humanity. Across the room, representatives leaned forward, some skeptical, others intensely focused. The Tark delegate, a robust figure with hardened scales and known for his species' militant culture, scoffed openly. "Concern?" the Tark representative sneered, his voice thick with disdain. "These humans are infants in the vastness of the cosmos. We have faced and contained species far more formidable. Why waste council time on such trivial beings?" The six turned slowly to face the Tark with a calm, steady gaze. "Underestimation," the six replied, "has led to ruin before." The six's words were precise, each syllable falling like stones into a still pool. "Reports from reconnaissance missions show that humans have an alarming adaptability. Their technology and combat strategies are advancing at an unprecedented rate. They may not yet have reached the stars in numbers, but we must be cautious. If we ignore their progress, we may live to regret it." A feathered avialek representative across the chamber's expanse raised one clawed hand, its feathers rippling with shades of violet and blue. "Yet we have seen civilizations rise and fall," the avialek's melodic voice echoed. "What makes these humans so different?" the council murmured, voices overlapping in agreement and dissent. It was true. Galactic history was rich with the stories of species that had burned brightly before being consumed by their own conflicts, or advancing far too slowly to keep pace with the universe. Why should humans be any different? At that moment, a human figure rose from a seat near the back of the chamber. Captain Elena Markov, Earth's appointed observer, had been granted special permission to attend this session. Dressed in the official dark uniform of the Earth Global Defense Initiative, she cut a striking figure, her face composed yet attentive. As she made her way to the front, the chamber's discussions fell silent, each representative's gaze fixed on her. "If I may address the council," Elena began, her voice steady and carrying a clear conviction. "I stand here not as a conqueror or a threat, but as a representative of a species seeking its place among the stars. Humanity values peace just as many of you do, but make no mistake, we will defend our world as fiercely as any of you would your own, and we invite you to learn from us, as we hope to learn from you." There was a pause. The air felt taut, alive with the weight of Elena's words. She glanced around the chamber, making eye contact with several representatives, her gaze unwavering. From a seat among the council's elite, the representative of the Zeltron Consortium, a technological powerhouse of beings composed of integrated circuits and light, flickered slightly, their form shifting hues of soft blue and purple as they absorbed the human's words. "We have studied Earth's archives extensively," the Zeltron spoke, their voice emanating in a cascade of electronic pulses that translated into steady words. "Humans are indeed fast learners, adaptive, ambitious, and most crucially, unpredictable. They have shown an astonishing capacity for both creation and destruction. This duality makes them an anomaly. They possess potential for profound contributions, or devastation." A grizzled old general from the Brayan Empire, his face etched with scars from countless battles, leaned forward with a thoughtful expression. His voice, gruff and weathered, spoke the words that had been hovering in everyone's mind. "Then we are at a crossroads. Do we guide, control, or confront?" Elena's gaze swept the room once more, understanding the gravity of her next words. "Think of us as allies," she said, "not adversaries. There is so much we could accomplish together. We each stand to gain much more than we would lose in a peaceful alliance." Her words settled over the council like a blanket, softening the edges of the skepticism and wariness that had filled the air. The sixth representative nodded slowly, their gaze moving around the chamber, gauging the reaction of each delegate. "This council proposes a period of observation," the sixth announced, its voice measured, and limited engagement with humanity. We must better understand their intentions, their ambitions, and their dreams. The room filled with low murmurs, some in agreement, others uncertain. The council's president, an ancient Almarian known for his wisdom, slowly rose, his movements a display of age and reverence. His voice, rich with the weight of centuries, commanded the room's attention. "Let this be the first of many discussions," he declared. "We will observe, engage, and prepare. For better or worse, humans are now a part of our galactic future." The council session adjourned with a mixture of trepidation and curiosity, the delegates dispersing to their respective corners of the galaxy, each left to contemplate the role of humanity in the cosmos. Elena returned to her seat, feeling the enormity of what had just transpired settle over her. She knew that her words had given them something crucial to ponder. Humanity might be young on the galactic stage, but they were ready, willing and able to stand among the stars. As she looked around the now empty chamber, her heart beat with a mixture of hope and determination. On the bridge of the Drayan scout ship Harbinger, Commander Threx stood in deep contemplation, his 4 eyes blinking in quick succession, a signal of his focus and concern. The Drayan ship hovered in a quiet corner of the solar system, hidden from detection as it observed Earth from a cautious distance. Threx had heard the discussions at the Galactic Council and was dispatched to study humanity up close, to gauge if the Council's concerns were truly warranted. "Commander, I have enhanced visuals on Earth," reported his second-in-command, Lieutenant Zevran, guiding the holographic star map to zoom in on Earth's blue and green surface. Zevran's voice held an unmistakable note of awe. "Such a vibrant planet," he murmured, adjusting the controls to display Earth's rich landscapes and dynamic weather systems. "Look at the oceans, the forests, so much life in one place." Threx's expression remained unreadable. "And its inhabitants are rumored to be as vibrant, Lieutenant," he responded. "But remember, our mission isn't to admire, it's to assess potential risks. Humans are still largely unknown, and the Council needs answers." As Threx watched Earth's atmosphere swirl and pulse with energy, he couldn't help but be intrigued. He had encountered civilizations before, some peaceful, some hostile, but humanity's reputation was mixed, shrouded in both awe and suspicion, a species known for intense resilience and fierce loyalty to their homeworld, traits that had sparked the Council's fears. Threx motioned to Zevran, his voice low but steady. "Prepare the scanning probes. I want detailed readings of their technological infrastructures, particularly anything related to defense." Moments later, a series of sleek Drayan probes launched from the Harbinger, gliding toward Earth's orbit. The data streamed back in real time, showing structures and facilities scattered across the planet, military bases, defense satellites, and various communication networks that hinted at the advanced strategic capabilities humans had developed. Even without full interstellar reach, Zevran analyzed the data, his brow furrowing. "Their defenses are formidable. These installations suggest a strong focus on planetary security, almost as if they were preparing for an external threat." Threx nodded, his thoughts racing. "They may be aware, consciously or not, that they're not alone. Such defenses imply a readiness for conflict. Yet the question remains, how would they respond to a real threat from beyond?" Suddenly, an alert flashed on their consoles. One of the Drayan probes had been detected by Earth's defense grid. Threx's pulse quickened. This was a critical moment. "Commander, they've located one of the probes," Zevran reported, his voice edged with tension. "Earth's defenses are adapting. They're tracking it in real time." As Threx watched the probe's feed, he saw a flash of light, a missile launched from one of Earth's defense platforms, aimed directly at the probe. He knew the capabilities of their stealth technology. Only a keen and highly advanced system could have pinpointed their presence so swiftly. "Impressive," Threx muttered under his breath, a mixture of respect and wariness surfacing. "They adapt quickly. Initiate evasive maneuvers, Zevran. Let's see how determined they are." The probe attempted to break from its orbit, but the missile pursued, relentless and precise. Within moments, the probe's feed cut off, and the screen went dark. The Drayan crew exchanged nervous glances, unaccustomed to such decisive retaliation from a planet-bound species. "We've underestimated them," Zevran whispered, a new tension in his voice. "Earth's defenses are not just primitive weapons. They are sophisticated, even by our standards." Threx turned to his crew, an undeniable gravity in his tone. "This species is more than capable of defending its own. But now we must proceed with caution. They'll be on alert, aware that something foreign is watching them." Back on Earth, In a high-security military facility, General Elena Markov stood before a screen displaying the remnants of the destroyed Drayan probe. Her expression was a mixture of concern and resolve. She had suspected alien surveillance for years, but this was the first tangible proof. A communications officer turned to her, eyes wide. "Ma'am, we confirm the probe's technology isn't of any known origin. We're dealing with something extraterrestrial." Elena took a deep breath, her mind racing. "Alert our allies in the Global Defense Initiative. If they're observing us, they're planning something. We need to be ready." As messages spread across Earth's military networks, preparations were set in motion. Defense satellites were recalibrated, troops placed on high alert, and advanced radar systems focused on Earth's outer perimeter. Earth wasn't just preparing for a visit, it was readying itself for a potential confrontation. Up in the Harbinger, Threx's mind was also racing. His mission was simple: observe, assess, and leave unnoticed. But humanity's swift retaliation had raised new questions and concerns. Was humanity already anticipating their arrival? And if so, how would they respond to further encounters? "Commander," Zevran interrupted Threx's thoughts, "perhaps we should inform the Council. Humanity's capabilities may surpass initial estimates. The Council must understand the potential risks." Threx pondered, his mind calculating. It was clear to him that humanity was not only capable of self-defense but possessed an unyielding drive to protect their home. The Council needed to know that humanity was not a mere curiosity. They were a presence, one that demanded respect. "Send a priority message to the Council," Threx commanded. "Report that Earth's defense systems are advanced and adaptive, and that humanity's response time is on par with many established spacefaring civilizations. They are ready for contact, more so than we anticipated." The message was encrypted, relayed through Drayan relay points, and transmitted across light years to the Galactic Council. The Council members would soon learn that humanity's potential was not limited to their capacity for creation. It extended to their capacity for defense, and perhaps even retaliation. As the Harbinger drifted further from Earth, Threx looked back at the blue-green world. Beneath its serene surface lay a species ready to challenge any who might underestimate it. A species that, despite being new to the cosmos, was already shaping the very way the galaxy might approach it. Zevran, noting his commander's silence, spoke softly. "Do you believe the Council will see the humans as allies, Commander, or as threats?" Threx's gaze remained fixed on Earth, his voice carrying a newfound respect. "I believe they are both, Lieutenant, and it is that very duality that makes them dangerous." In the sprawling, luminescent halls of the Galactic Council, tension was palpable. Representatives from countless civilizations gathered, their forms casting strange shadows across the intricate mosaic floor. An undercurrent of unease filled the chamber as the Council convened for an emergency session. The topic: humanity, a species they had underestimated and were now unsure how to handle. The Sex, a tall, thin creature with translucent skin, stood at the high podium, raising a spindly hand to call for silence. The Council stilled, though many members exchanged wary glances, unsettled by the urgency in the Sex's expression. "We are gathered here," the Sex began, its voice echoing through translation devices in the room, "to discuss the unexpected developments surrounding the species known as humans. They are a young civilization, yes, but recent reports suggest their technological and military capabilities are significant." Across the room, murmurs arose, but one voice cut through with a scoff. It belonged to Zorak, a Tark representative known for his militant culture. "Significant?" Zorak boomed, his tone laced with disdain. "We've encountered significant species before. Many have fallen under the Council's influence without resistance. Why should these humans be any different?" The Sex turned its gaze to Zorak, unperturbed. "They detected one of our reconnaissance probes and destroyed it with precise retaliation. Their technology is advanced, and their resolve unmistakable. We cannot afford to dismiss them so easily." Another delegate, an avian named Leo from the peaceful Alar civilization, tilted his feathered head, curiosity evident in his eyes. "Perhaps this is a misunderstanding. They may fear what they do not understand. We should send a peaceful delegation." From the back of the room, the stern face of Ambassador Kylara of the Drayans was visible. She had heard of the humans' defenses firsthand from Threx's report, and was one of the few voices advocating caution. "Humans adapt quickly. They have shown both an ability to learn and a determination to defend themselves. They might not respond well to an intrusion disguised as diplomacy." As discussions intensified, a human delegate, Tom Hayes, stepped forward. He was an observer from Earth, one of the few humans permitted to attend council meetings. Dressed in the dark uniform of Earth's Global Defense Initiative, his presence alone was a symbol of humanity's readiness to stand among the stars. "If I may address the council," Tom began, his voice steady and confident, even though he could feel the weight of countless alien eyes on him. "Humans desire peace, but we will defend ourselves as any other civilization would. I'm here to propose that we move forward not as adversaries, but as allies." The chamber fell silent, every alien eye studying Tom intently. He represented a species both new and unsettling to many in the council, and yet there was a quiet dignity in his words that was hard to ignore. From a far corner, the Zeltron delegate, a being composed of light and integrated circuits, flickered softly, absorbing Tom's words. "Humans are indeed fast learners," the Zeltron said, its voice a soft hum of electronic tones. "They show potential for both creation and destruction. Their adaptability is unusual, even among the species we have encountered." In the midst of this tension, the Sex resumed, raising a hand to maintain order. "This council is at a crossroads. We must decide whether to embrace the humans as allies, guide them as protégés, or view them as a potential threat. Each option comes with its own risks." An ancient, grizzled general from the Brayan Empire leaned forward, his voice gruff and weathered by years of war. "I have fought countless battles," he rumbled, his voice carrying a weight of experience. "These humans might be allies worth having, or enemies worth fearing. We must not act rashly." Tom Hayes listened carefully, understanding the council's hesitation. He could sense the mixture of curiosity and fear in their voices. Humanity had managed to unsettle an entire coalition of advanced species. No small feat, he realized, but he knew they had to move forward carefully. "Consider this," Tom continued, addressing the council directly. "Earth has no desire to conquer or control, but we also have no intention of surrendering our sovereignty or our will. I'm here because we want to learn, to share, and to cooperate." The council president, an elderly Alarian revered for his wisdom, cleared his throat, silencing the chamber once more. "Humanity is at the beginning of its journey into the stars. Perhaps a period of observation would be prudent. To understand their intentions and ensure their entry into the galactic fold is harmonious." The suggestion hung in the air, inviting contemplation and murmurs of agreement. It was a compromise, and for many, a sensible one, but not all were appeased. Zorak, the Tark representative, clenched his fists, a fierce determination lighting his gaze. "Observation, weakness. If they pose a risk, we should eliminate it before it festers." Tom's eyes locked onto Zorak, unyielding. He knew that Earth's fate rested in the Council's hands, and that any sign of submission could mean devastation for his world. He stood his ground, aware that the outcome of this meeting could determine humanity's place in the galaxy. "Do not mistake restraint for weakness," Tom replied, his voice calm but resolute. "We will defend our home, just as you would defend yours." The Council members glanced between Tom and Zorak, the tension thickening as two wills clashed in an unspoken battle. But the Sex, sensing the rising friction, intervened once more. "We are not here to fan the flames of conflict," the Sex intoned. "We are here to seek understanding and unity." The wise council president finally stepped in, nodding slowly as he addressed the room. "Let this be the first of many discussions. We will engage, observe, and learn. The fate of humanity, and perhaps our own, may depend on our approach." The council session adjourned, and as the representatives filed out, a sense of unresolved tension lingered in the air. Tom knew that humanity's future in the galaxy was still uncertain. He had bought Earth some time, but he was acutely aware that the road ahead would not be easy. As he walked out of the chamber, Tom's thoughts churned with the weight of what lay ahead. He had seen the council's curiosity, its respect, and its fear, and he understood that humanity's place among the stars would be anything but passive. Back on Earth, the Global Defense Initiative received Tom's report, acknowledging the Council's mixed reactions, but General Elena Markov, with her ever-watchful gaze, understood the deeper implications. "Prepare for all contingencies," she ordered her team. "We may have allies among them, but we may also have enemies. Earth must be ready for whatever comes." As Earth braced itself for the uncertainties of galactic politics, Tom Hayes prepared for his next move, understanding that humanity's resilience would be tested in ways it had never been before. The Council had opted for caution, but he knew that the future was still uncertain, and humanity's place in the galaxy had only just begun to unfold. The Galactic Council's decision to observe and cautiously engage humanity created an unsteady truce, but it left a simmering tension between Earth and the various alien civilizations. Back on Earth, however, preparations were underway to ensure humanity's defenses could stand against any hostile action, should the Council's decision ever sway toward aggression. In the depths of Earth's military command center, General Elena Markov stood before a massive screen displaying a sprawling network of satellites and orbital defenses. Engineers, analysts, and military strategists bustled around, making rapid calculations and running simulations. Since the Council meeting, Earth's global defense had intensified, focusing on harnessing every piece of technology at their disposal. As Markov addressed her team, her voice was calm but resolute. The Council is watching us, and likely assessing whether Earth is worth the risk of conflict. They may view us as a minor player, but we will show them that Earth is ready and capable of defending itself. With that, she activated the Earth Defense Initiative's latest project, the Solaris Network. Developed over years in secrecy, Solaris was a series of strategically positioned orbital satellites equipped with cutting-edge defense mechanisms, each capable of disrupting and repelling invasive spacecraft. The network's purpose was simple, yet ambitious: to shield Earth from any extraterrestrial threat. Meanwhile, Tom Hayes, now Earth's primary diplomat and strategist in the galactic arena, was preparing to meet with his team to discuss their next move. Since his encounter with the Galactic Council, Tom had come to realize that humanity's fate rested not just on military strength, but also on their ability to navigate the delicate dance of interstellar diplomacy. "Tom, are you sure about this approach?" asked Dr. Mira Talon, a leading scientist in Earth's Advanced Research Division. Her concern was clear as she studied the galaxy map projected on the wall of the briefing room. "If we move forward with these defensive tests, it might provoke the Council even more." Tom nodded thoughtfully. "I understand the risks, Mira, but we need to demonstrate that Earth is neither a threat nor a target. They need to see that we won't provoke aggression, but we'll be prepared if it's forced upon us, and if there are any factions in the Council considering an attack, showing strength could deter them." The plan was to conduct a series of defensive drills within Earth's orbit, testing Solaris's capabilities while simultaneously broadcasting a signal of restraint and readiness. The aim was not to intimidate, but to display a capability that made Earth a harder target than expected. As the briefing concluded, Tom addressed his team with a quiet determination. "We'll show the galaxy that Earth is more than what they think. Our strength lies in our unity, our resolve, and our adaptability." Within hours, the Solaris Network activated. Earth's skies were soon lit with the controlled movements of the orbital satellites and defensive drones, each one aligning into a precise formation around the planet. Observers from the Galactic Council, stationed on their stealth ships at the edge of the solar system, watched in awe and perhaps a bit of unease. On one of these ships, Zartol, a Solarian observer, narrowed his eyes as he analyzed the formation through a high-powered telescope. "They are coordinating with military precision," he muttered to his team. "Their defenses are advanced, perhaps more than we anticipated." Beside him, the Rixa delegate, an alien with 4 elongated eyes that could adjust focus independently, scanned the network intently. "Their technology shows clear adaptation," she murmured. "They've reverse-engineered elements from their own research. But where did they acquire the underlying knowledge?" Zartol was silent, his mind churning as he considered the implications. Earth was proving itself resilient and clever, and perhaps, he mused, this species was more adaptable than the Council had accounted for. He activated his communication channel, sending a report back to the Council with urgent recommendations for a reassessment of humanity's capabilities. Back on Earth, General Markov and her team monitored Solaris closely. The network moved smoothly, its automated systems adjusting positions and redirecting energy where needed. The tests were going exactly as planned, but Markov knew the Council would be assessing every move, and she was right. Across the galaxy, the Council chambers were abuzz with messages from their observers. The Tark representative Zorak, who had originally scoffed at humanity, found himself revisiting his earlier stance. In a private chamber, Zorak conferred with his aide, a tall, stoic Alarian named Telnor. "The humans are not as weak as we assumed," he admitted begrudgingly. "Their technology is rudimentary compared to ours, yet it's effective. Their defenses are formidable." Telnor nodded. "They compensate for their technological gaps with ingenuity. It's a dangerous combination, especially if they continue to grow. The discussions among council members grew more intense, with some representatives advocating for an immediate blockade of Earth to prevent further advancement, while others suggested a hands-off approach, hoping that humanity's progress would slow naturally. As these debates unfolded, Tom Hayes was once again called to the council chambers via secure transmission. He appeared on their screens, a calm yet confident figure, aware of the growing scrutiny on Earth's advancements. "We are not seeking war," Tom stated firmly, addressing the room full of alien eyes. "But we are aware that the council may have concerns. I ask you to understand, our actions are not born out of hostility. We seek peace and cooperation, but we will not compromise our safety." The sex representative, maintaining its cautious diplomacy, leaned forward. "Mr. Hayes, there are voices within the council who view your display as an act of defiance." Tom's gaze was unyielding. "I understand their perspective, but Earth will not bow to fear or intimidation. We wish to find common ground, a place where both humanity and the council can coexist." The council room fell silent as Tom's words resonated. Even those who harbored doubts could sense the underlying message. Humanity was here to stay, and they would carve their place among the stars with or without the council's approval. In the days that followed, the council found itself at an impasse. Some factions advocated for immediate action, fearing Earth's rapid growth, while others urged caution, recognizing the potential for a diplomatic relationship. The council president, the wise old Alarian, finally addressed the council, his tone measured yet resolute. "We will continue to observe and engage," he declared. "We must not act in haste. Humanity's resilience is remarkable, and their intentions remain open. They may yet prove to be allies, rather than adversaries." For now, the council agreed to an uneasy truce. Observers would continue their surveillance, but Earth would not be provoked. It was a temporary solution, a way to buy time for further assessment. Back on Earth, as the Solaris Network concluded its tests successfully, General Markov felt a sense of satisfaction, mixed with the ever-present readiness for what might come. She knew Earth's future remained uncertain, but with each day, humanity grew stronger, more united, and more capable. As Tom Hayes watched the galaxy's silent response to Earth's actions, he understood the long road ahead. Earth had proven it could stand on its own, but the journey was far from over. The stars held both allies and enemies, and humanity would face them all with strength, diplomacy, and unyielding resolve. The atmosphere on Earth was both triumphant and tense. They had demonstrated their strength, held their ground, and captured the attention of the Galactic Council. Yet Tom Hayes and the leaders of Earth's Global Defense Initiative knew they were standing on the edge of a precipice. The Council's decision to maintain observation hinted at an uneasy peace, one that could easily turn if Earth made the wrong move. In the council chambers far across the galaxy, alien representatives were in heated debate. Zartol, the Solarian observer who had witnessed Earth's defense displays firsthand, stood before the assembly, detailing his findings. "The humans are indeed remarkable," he reported, his voice low and grave. "Their advancements, while limited by galactic standards, are growing exponentially. They have not only demonstrated readiness, but a cunning adaptability. If we act too aggressively, we risk triggering a conflict that could destabilize our alliances." The Tark representative Zorak, who had been among the loudest voices for intervention, scowled but held his silence. He had underestimated humanity, dismissing them as a primitive, impulsive race. Now, facing the Council's uncertainty, he realized that they had grossly misjudged the species from Earth. The sex representative, always one for diplomacy, finally spoke up, addressing the Council President and the Assembly with quiet conviction. "Perhaps we need to consider a different approach," it proposed. "Instead of containment, why not collaboration? They may be younger on the galactic stage, but that does not mean they lack wisdom. Humanity has shown willingness to cooperate. We could learn much from one another." Back on Earth, Tom Hayes was gathering his top team of strategists and diplomats to formulate their next steps. The latest intelligence indicated that the Council's surveillance would continue indefinitely. While some military leaders saw this as a reason to increase defenses, Tom argued for a measured response. "If we start positioning more weapons, it will signal that we're preparing for war," he advised. "But if we build alliances, we strengthen our foundation and our chance for peace." One of his advisors, Dr. Mira Talon, an expert in alien cultural studies, agreed. "We need to show them that we're here to stay, yes, but not as a threat. We should propose something concrete, a shared mission, an exploration initiative. If they can see us as allies, perhaps we can begin changing their perception. With this in mind, Tom reached out to the council president with a proposal, a joint expedition to explore a newly discovered star system in a region known for both rich resources and dangerous anomalies. The council, wary but intrigued, debated the offer. Some representatives saw it as a trap, a way for Earth to gain an advantage in their resources. Others argued that it was an opportunity to evaluate humanity's methods firsthand, in a controlled environment, where they could intervene if necessary. After hours of deliberation, the council president finally agreed to the proposal on the condition that council observers from various species would accompany the human team. This expedition would be a test, a chance for humanity to prove its intentions and abilities under the watchful eyes of those who doubted them. The mission was prepared within days, with Tom Hayes leading the diplomatic team and General Elena Markov coordinating the military presence. Aboard the Unity, an exploration vessel outfitted with a blend of human and galactic technology, they set off toward the distant star system with a mixed crew of Earth scientists, engineers, and military personnel, as well as the alien observers assigned by the Council. As the Unity neared the system, it encountered an unstable anomaly, a cosmic storm that stretched across light years, twisting space and scattering radiation in waves. The ship's sensors blinked erratically as they approached, and Tom could sense the tension rising among the crew. "Adjust to a safer distance," General Markov ordered, her voice calm and steady. She had anticipated the possibility of encountering such an anomaly, though the intensity of it was surprising even to her. The Solarian observer, Zar Tol, was impressed. "Humanity's technology has made significant strides," he remarked, nodding slightly as the crew expertly navigated the ship to avoid the most dangerous parts of the storm. He had once been among those who advocated for stricter containment of Earth, but seeing their determination and skill firsthand, he began to understand the sex's argument for collaboration. The joint mission team soon discovered that the anomaly was not just a random storm. It was a pathway to hidden regions of space, a nexus that connected multiple star systems. The implications of this discovery were enormous. It could open new trade routes, enable faster travel across the galaxy, and unlock resources that had previously been out of reach. As they explored deeper into the anomaly, an unexpected danger emerged. Hidden within the storm was a remnant fleet from an ancient galactic war, automated ships that had been dormant for centuries, now reactivated by the passing energy of the Unity's engines. These vessels, programmed only to defend their territory, identified the humans and council members as intruders and initiated a hostile response. The alien observers panicked, but General Markov remained calm. "Prepare defensive maneuvers," she commanded. "Tom, open a line to the council observers. Let's work together to disable these ships without destroying them if we can." In a brilliant display of unity, the human and alien crew worked together, combining their expertise to outmaneuver the ancient fleet. Zar Tol and the Rixa delegate contributed insights into the old technology, while Earth's engineers modified their systems on the fly to communicate with the alien vessels. It was a delicate balance of attack and diplomacy, an effort to neutralize the threat without sparking further aggression. After hours of intense battle, the team managed to override the fleet's controls, deactivating the ships one by one. In the end, they emerged victorious, not only having survived but having proven that humans could work alongside alien allies in a crisis. The council observers returned from the mission with a new perspective. Zar Tol spoke at the next council assembly with unexpected praise for humanity. "The humans have demonstrated ingenuity, bravery, and cooperation. They do not seek to dominate. They seek to explore, to understand. I believe we have misjudged them." The council president took in Zar Tol's words with a thoughtful nod. "Perhaps it is time to reconsider our stance on Earth. Humanity has shown that they can be allies, that they can contribute to our shared knowledge and safety." In the days that followed, the council voted to initiate an official alliance with Earth, marking the beginning of humanity's formal entry into the galactic community. It was a tentative step, full of caution but also hope. Back on Earth, Tom Hayes and General Markov were welcomed as heroes. They had not only defended humanity's right to exist, but had also earned its place among the stars. Standing in the command center, Tom looked at the galaxy map, a mix of excitement and responsibility in his gaze. "This is just the beginning," he said to General Markov. "We've made our mark, but now we have to live up to it." She nodded, a hint of pride in her expression. "Humanity has been warned, Tom, but we've proven we're worth fearing for the right reasons." As Earth entered a new era of interstellar diplomacy and exploration, humanity's legacy was set. They were no longer the young, brash species from a backwater planet. They were a force to be reckoned with, a presence to be respected, and in the vast, endless darkness of space, they had found their place, among friends, allies, and the endless possibilities of the universe beyond.